Okay, so here's the deal. I picked up this Mac Pro for 20 bucks. Not a bad deal, even if the logic board is busted, considering the graphics card still works, and that's worth more than $20 on its own. Not much more, but didn't come with any hard drive whatsoever, and that's what's kind of made this whole thing tricky. I tried loading up the hard drive with Lion on it. That didn't work. It just flashed the question mark folder. And so that's when I tried loading up recovery software onto a disk and doing it that way. By the way, let me just show you some information. On here it says that's a 3.0. Apparently that's a built-to-order model. So I'm not exactly sure what year it is. I'm guessing it's a 2008. But I don't know, it could be earlier than that. So like I said, I tried to do a system restore via a disk. I loaded Lion recovery software onto a disk, and you're supposed to hold down the power button, and after a while the optical drive opens up and you slip it in there, and it does its thing. But that's where I ran into my problem. So when I hold down the power button, the light flashes rapidly for 5 or 6 seconds, and then there's just one long beep, one long tone. And from what I've read, that means no RAM detected. Now, this computer came fully loaded with RAM. I mean, there was RAM in every slot. And the first few times, I got a diagnostic LED on DIMM 2. I can't remember which riser card it was. But since then, I've taken all the RAM out. Now I'm putting this FB DIMM Kingston 4GB 2RX4 PC2. So I'll be putting just one stick of that into the first slot of riser card A and B. Actually, I'm going to do that on a more steady surface. And I will show you my problem. I'm going to put the camera down for just 1 second. Okay, so as you can see, I've got the FB DIMM in slot 1 on riser card A and B. And now I'm going to insert that. Okay, so they've both been firmly seated into the logic board. And this is what happens when I try to start up recovery mode. Oh, hold on now. Give me just 1 second here. It's not supposed to do that. Well, okay, let me go. And let me go ahead and show you. So it's started up. I gotta plug this in. Okay, well, let's just turn it off here. Give it a second. Now you might not be able to see the lights flickering that well because of the flash. I'm going to hold it over here so it's a little bit darker. So to enter recovery mode, you're supposed to hold the power button until the optical drive spits out. So I pushed it down. And there's your one long beep. As you can see, there's no LED light indicators. And this is what comes up. Now if I turn it off and then hold, I actually have a Windows keyboard, but it's Alt, I believe. You hold Alt and then you start up the computer and you can choose which drive to boot off of. That does work. It just doesn't load. It just turns into a white screen or black screen of nothingness until you shut the computer down. So yeah, worst case scenario, I'm guessing the RAM slots in the logic board are dead, in which case I mean I'm pretty handy with soldering, so if I can find the same type of logic board, another dead one that I can get for cheap, I'll just pull the RAM slots off of there and stick it in on this one. Also, another thing to note is this thing was covered in dust when I got it. I mean, I had to take it out to the garage and blow it out with an air compressor for about 20 minutes. Well, about 10 minutes. And there was just clouds of dust for about 5 minutes. So that's another thing to note. Anyways, yeah.